What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of PSR. Today we got something super cool and special on the channel, and it is the Broad River Tactical Car 15 SD upper receiver. This is an integrally suppressed 9mm upper receiver. So this is an SD, a true SD. It is just the same kind of a barrel as on the MP5 SD, and it utilizes a CMMG radial delay bolt kit. So it is a actually delayed blowback, not direct blowback, 9mm, and it fits on any AR lower. And right now we got it on my SBR lower. This thing absolutely fucks. I know we've got the absolute no cheek weld, not even a chin weld here, because we got a laser mounted on it, and we're gonna talk about all this stuff that's on it. But first, let's just dump a mag, because this thing absolutely fucking rocks. All right, before we get to shooting this thing, I got to thank the channel sponsor for PSR, and that is Aves Engineering. Guys, Aves Engineering makes all of the rails for your DIY squirted glizzies. We love a squirted glizzy. And if you want to squirt your own glizzy, Aves has got all the things you need, all the rails, 26, 19, 17, 43 even. Never check them out in a million years, and especially never use the code PSR for 10% off your entire order, and tell them PSR sent you. Thanks, Aves, for sponsoring this channel. Let's get it. Oh, dick. She's so smooth. Oh, I'm gonna come. All right, let's talk a little bit about what makes this thing so special. All right, so the Broad River Tactical Car 15 SD upper. What is it? So it is an AR pattern upper, normal AR pattern upper. We don't have a forward assist here, but it is based around the whole system of the CMMG radial delay blowback. So it is not direct blowback, radial delay blowback. The special thing, if you know about the SD, the MP5 SD essentially, is the MP5 SD is so great because it utilizes a barrel that turns supersonic ammo into subsonic ammo. So 115 grain ammo, you put through an MP5 SD and it will come out subsonic, which makes it so cool and a little bit lighter on the wallet if you're shooting, you know, a lot and you just want subsonic performance without spending the money on subsonic ammo. So this is my Replicator Ventus 9. This is a normal 9mm suppressor. It is kind of more of a flow-through suppressor, and we have a hub mount on the back here, which is great. Broad River Tactical sent me a hub adapter, which is really cool. In here, the barrel, the hub adapter goes inside of there. If you can see that, right? Now, the cool thing about the MP5 SD is it's got a thread on the barrel, on the back of the barrel right here. So if you're going to run a traditional SD suppressor on here, like the B&T one, you would have it thread into the back here, and that is a special thread that's meant for SD cans. Now, what Broad River Tactical did was they wanted it to be able to run it with normal, you know, everyday run-of-the-mill hub cans, and so they made an adapter, and this is their prototype, but it's working great. And that screws on to the threads in the back of this barrel. Now, how does it get subsonic if it's supersonic ammunition? Well, the barrel has ports in it, so it has holes in the beginning of the barrel. Right as the bullet's going through the chamber, all those gases come out of the ports, and then that's what slows down the actual velocity of the bullet, and that's why you get that subsonic performance. Screw her back on, eh? Get her back on, just crank her, crank the hog. So it's essentially an MP5 SD in the ergonomics of an AR, which is awesome. Now, I haven't actually shot an MP5 SD, so I can't really compare it, but we do have my normal MP5 that is suppressed, as well as some subsonic ammunition, and I want to kind of compare the two in terms of just like the sound. I wish I had a decibel meter. If you guys can recommend me a good decibel meter that's not like super expensive, I really would like to test this more empirically to get a better idea of the performance of this thing. Now, it is pretty cold out here. It's around 35 to 40-ish degrees. I'm trying to get tough here, get my skin tough, but it is pretty cold. In terms of the sound performance, it's going to change based on the heat and the humidity and all of your conditions. So the warmer it is, the quieter it's going to be, essentially. So it might be a little bit louder than normal, given that it is a pretty chilly day here. What do we have for magazines, considering that this is a normal AR lower? Well, these are the Mean Arms Endo mags, except I put them inside the T-Mag. So the Magpul T-Mag will fit the Endo mag conversion kit. So this converts it to 9mm, and I always thought aesthetically, big AR mags, you know, they didn't look great out of a 9mm because it just doesn't fit the aesthetic compared to like a Scorpion or an MP5, right? Cool thing about this is you can see the ammunition inside. You can see that it's 9mm, so it's a nice little compromise. And so far the T-Mags have been running really, really well with this build. As far as accessories on here, we'll just briefly overview what we got on here. You've seen this on the channel before. This is the AMMJ Penumbra laser. Great thing about this is it's got an RMR footprint on the top. So we've got a Gideon optic on the top here, and I've used this before on other builds. It's great. We also have this riser from Arasaka. It is a pretty high riser for this build, but I wanted this to be more of a specific kind of like night vision style build. We can run our laser just with this tape switch here, and then we've got the flashlight here, which is a clone of the Surefire mini scout light. As far as the other stuff on here, this is a Sons of Liberty lower and an MKM grip and a B5 stock. The handguard here is honestly aesthetically just right. It is mimicking the MP5 SD, and it's a rubber handguard, perfect grip. Honestly, you do lack M-lock and stuff like that and ways to attach accessories, but since we've got that mini scout light on here, we can attach that to the Picatinny rail, which runs the whole length of this handguard. So that's a good thing. We've got a little bit of relief cuts for heat and stuff here. I haven't, felt it get super hot. I have shot a video on this before, but unfortunately the audio was not running. So I have put over 1,000 rounds. We're probably right around 1,500 to 1,700 rounds through this already, and it's been running great. One thing I did notice when shooting this thing a lot, it does need to stay clean. So that is one thing about these SDs is the amount of gases and carbon and everything in here. It does foul up the gun quite a bit quicker than normal. So you do have to kind of stay on your maintenance. Normally with ARs, you really don't have to do that, but it's a pretty important thing, at least from what I've noticed, to do on this particular build. I've got two other PCCs. We've got my Scorpion, which has kind of got a similar kind of setup, but it's not integrally suppressed. And I've got my MP5, my POF, and we're gonna try them both suppressed with both supersonic and subsonic and kind of compare it to this thing. We're also gonna try subsonic out of this. Now they say with the MP5 SD, they say you can run into squib loads because it's not getting enough oomph out of the barrel using subsonic ammunition. But I think we should be okay with this to try subsonic, but we will try it and test it, make sure we actually get the bullet out of the barrel, because it would suck to get a squib load, ruin our day. But we'll try that at the end maybe. I'll explain kind of how it feels to shoot. Let's put another mag to it. Great thing about this is it's got all the normal familiar AR controls, so it's super easy to get the hang of. Oh man. Oh my God. It's just the shooting experience that you get with this. I have never felt another 9mm gun like it. It's so soft. It's so incredibly soft and easy to shoot. Oh, it's just like butter. Oh, dude, it's so soft that there's no possible way I could bump fire this thing. Honestly, it's just such light recoil. Lock open. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I try not to schmooze and get too excited about guns, but this thing is honestly, I think it's my favorite 9mm PCC that I own. This thing is just it's so damn smooth. Let's see how loud it is without ear pro, and I'll just kind of just give my own little reading here, considering that these are now subsonic here. I'll put it in the berm here. So they are a little bit, seems like just a tad louder than what normal subsonic would be, but like I said, this is 115 grain and it's pretty cold out right now. And this is also a not extremely quiet 9mm can, because it does have that flow through technology in there. Oh baby, man. Oh, it never gets old. It never gets old shooting this thing. Let's do a little comparison with our other PCCs that I brought and see how they fare with the subsonic ammunition. All right, so here we are with our POF MP5 with the Resilient RS9 on there. And we got supersonic ammunition in this, and also we got our CZ Scorpion, which is tricked out with this AB Suppressors Saber. It's a reflex can that goes over the barrel. They discontinued it, but I was lucky enough to get one. So big shouts out to AB Suppressors. We got the HB Industries tricked out handguard. It like tucks in there so beautifully. Let's start out with the MP5, and we're gonna take our ear pro off, and we're gonna hear, compared with our Car 15 SD, just how much louder it is with supersonic ammunition. So slap. Let's see here. into the berm. You can hear that crack? Not bad, honestly. Like pretty easy to shoot. All right, Car 15 SD. Definitely quieter. Definitely quieter. Let's try the Scorpion with supersonic. Definitely lighter. That seemed like it was the loudest, honestly. That was a little loud. And much snappier. The standard direct blowback kind of firearm, it's going to be a little bit snappier, a little bit more felt recoil. It's interesting that that one felt like it was the loudest. Now we're going to try subsonic ammunition and compare it with our Car 15 SD in this and in the MP5. But let's just dump this. All right, I guess might as well dump this thing while we're at it too. We got binary trigger in this thing, the Lee Sporting lower. It's always a good time. All right, so we've got our subsonic ammunition in here. This is Seller and Bellet. It's the sort of flat-ish nose 9mm subsonic. These are 150 grain. Back to back with the Car 15 SD and Scorpion. We'll start with the MP5 here. This is gonna be so quiet. Into the berm. Oh man. All right, there's 5 in there. Let's try the Scorpion. Bolt release. All right, try the Scorpion. Wow, it makes like a nice little ping. Definitely the most recoil. Now the Car 15 SD with supersonic ammunition. So you can tell that is a little bit louder. And like I said, that is due to probably a few different factors. The cold, also this can not being the super quietest can ever. A different can that was more traditional back pressure can probably would be a bit quieter. Out of both the MP5 and the Scorpion, the felt recoil is definitely the best on this thing. It just feels like a soft pillow. More recoil with the MP5, shockingly. I don't know. It's that radial delay. Way sharper recoil on the Scorpion. And we're out on there. Let's just give her piss with the rest of the MP5. Golden showers. You like that? Oh, I just love this thing. God, it's awesome. Oh, dick. In our final little test, we're gonna try subsonic ammunition through the SD. Now, it's unlikely that it's gonna cycle. Maybe it will cycle, but I thought we would try it and we'll make sure we don't get a squib. Oh boy, I don't think I reset the trigger though. Nope. That is so quiet though. And we didn't feed another round. So, subsonics, to cycle them, let's just hear how quiet this is. So it's not cycling the subs, but listen how quiet this is. Did we cycle one? No. Okay. So no squib loads. That's good. But we didn't cycle the bolt because of how much gases are getting flown out of that through the barrel into our SD can because of the adapter. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And it's a cold day, so I'm warming up my fingers. Oh, it's so nice. All right, so our final thoughts here on our Car 15 SD from Broad River Tactical. Man, I just adore this firearm. It is so much fun to shoot. It's the softest shooting 9mm subgun I've ever shot, including the MP5. It's softer than that. And that may have to do with the a little bit of weight on here, especially with this can. It's an Inconel can. Very indestructible. You can run this with 5.56, you know, so it's a little front heavy, but it is just so soft. And it's such a nice gun to shoot. I really love it. I don't really have any negative things to say other than one thing I noticed is that you really just have to be on top of your maintenance and cleaning and lubing. Like, you could probably get away with not cleaning it, but just lubing the shit out of it because it's struggling sometimes with this flow through suppressor. Sometimes I noticed that we ran into some cycling problems where the bolt wouldn't cycle all the way back because of those holes in the barrel. The porting lets off so much gases, and this is a prototype adapter. So it's not even supposed to have this style of a suppressor on it. It's not supposed to be able to run a hub mount can. Technically, you're supposed to have a SD can like the B&T can in here, which goes all the way back here and screws in. But because we're testing this with this prototype adapter and with the flow-through can, we just ran into needing to make sure that this is lubed 100% of the time. Then you're good to go. Broad River Tactical, small company, doing really cool stuff. The CMMG radial delay, I am a super big fan of, so that is awesome too. Even if you just want to convert your AR9 to a radial delay, I would say that's a great option. I'm going to continue to update you guys on all of the happenings with this, and I would like to get the actual B&T can. I think it'd be a little bit shorter, probably a little bit quieter, honestly, but the hub adapter is super cool. And Chris from Broad River Tactical, super nice guy. We were doing some troubleshooting together and, you know, figuring this whole adapter, this prototype he sent me. So I'd say a great small business to give your money to, and I think this is awesome. Also, Ian from Forgotten Weapons did a whole video shooting this and talking about it. It's definitely legit, guys. This is a sick setup. So big thank you to Broad River Tactical, and big thank you to you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. What do you guys think of this thing? Leave a comment, tell me what you think. If you guys want to support me on Patreon, I have a Patreon as well as an alternative to Patreon, fan of them. And that page, if it's not set up, it'll be set up pretty soon. The link will be in the description. Also, I have merch from Bad Attitude Department. Definitely check them out, as well as check out Moonlight Industries for these chest rigs. Use the code PSR for 10% off. And I am out, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Love ya. Bye.
Okay.
All right.